Yeah, shoot.
Is it okay to present? I have a presentation like always.
All right, let's get to it, everyone. We're going to be talking about online lead conversion. And I think that is all of our specialties here, which is great. Like, this is the topic we could probably talk about the whole day, and all four of us would have a lot of great things to say on this one. You know, we should run a whole virtual event just on online lead conversion.
Oh man, I'd so be in on that.
That I don't even understand why we hadn't done that before.
I don't know how neither one of us thought of this.
I discussed it with Tristan last, right, Tristan? We were going back and forth on just doing something like that. Yeah. And said, yeah, because I think, people need to know, how are we successful and help them in their businesses, right? Because we're not here to do anything else but help others understand Chime better. And help them through it, because I know you also have some great tools too, Brett. And Tristan always. But yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, all right, we should totally do that.
Let's definitely work on that. Now, today we've got a special guest with us, Janki Patel. I haven't seen you for a while. That's why it's special. Okay. Damn it. It's special.
I actually haven't, Janki, I haven't seen you in like what feels like a decade.
Yeah, I really feel the same, but I just been pounding it. Like, I just went, last year was a little slow because we were creating our other companies, building those out, right, Tristan and Brett. Yep. So it was slow. And then in the sense, I didn't pay attention to my real estate business, then realized in December, oh my God, when I was contacting everyone in the database, I was, we bought, we sold, we bought. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened here? I know, right?
Do you want to do something really scary? So I make Aurora do this every now and then. I make her go back through her database and figure out who bought and sold with somebody else. Dude, she did that one year and she lost out on like $300,000 in commission.
Mine is $957,000.
Oh, Janki.
I fired my staff, whoever was working with me, my database managers, my ISAs. I was like, see you guys. I had to rebuild Tristan and Brett.
You know who did? Janki.
You said you're in San Diego right now?
Interesting.
I need
to bring you a drink.
Yeah.
I'm going down to the hotel.
And then we'll get into the conversion here, because one of my top agents, his name is Luis Robledo. He works at Douglas Elliman, and he's the guy that sold Matthew Perry. He sold his house on the beach.
I remember that.
Sweet.
So he came back a few years back. He was off of real estate for like a year, and he came back. He jumped into the CRM, and then he started calling everyone. And then maybe like 3 months later, he's like, Tristan, I'm super pissed. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I've been tracking everyone that bought a house while I was gone, and it totals over $800,000 in commission. And ever since then, the guy's like on it. I'm like, wow, it was such a big light bulb moment for him.
Yeah.
So I get it.
True. It just broke. I broke my heart. End of December. In fact, January, first week I found out, and I think I spoke to you about this, Tristan. I was crying. Like, what did I do? I neglected my business, my bread and butter. And all these leads were coming in, and I was blaming the leads. I learned from it. And ever since then, I have just been pounding the pavement. And so far we are pending, I think, on 15 transactions, just 2023, 15 and 9 are closed. So, and I'll share all the numbers with you, but it just goes to show when you neglect your database, what happens, right, guys? And that's why I want to do this, is that, that is our true bread and butter, honestly. So
it's your true bread and butter. I love that. I heard the word bread, so I had to add that in there.
Do you know how often I hear my name in a bakery? Like, come on, Brett
man.
Baker. Do you know how many times I hear that every day? I'll be
Listen,
walking by a
Brett,
bakery, someone's like, bread. I'm like, what?
That's so funny.
your antennas go up.
Guys,
Right? It's like the dog from Up.
let's get into this. We had one quick question about what we showcased a couple of weeks ago when it came to Trenton building out our blogs. We'll show a little bit of that. Remember, ChatGPT, GPT-4 is out. Just go to OpenAI,
awesome.
Switch it up. I'm paying for it. It's $20. And then it's extremely more extensive. I was texting. No, I was texting with Trenton last night. I said, what site do I go to plug in the code to build Pong? Because I think I figured it out. And so that's what we were trying to build out last night. But
see, I'm so lost in this game.
No, not yet, because I fell asleep. But I was trying to put Pong, but I will.
Send it to me. I want to play Pong.
I'll do it. All right, Janki, where do we start with it when it comes with online lead conversion, Chime, Google PPC, Facebook lead ads? Where do we start with online leads coming through?
I'm going to share my screen with you guys, but I just want to go back to Pong. Tristan, you're talking to someone who has no idea. Come on.
Pong was the first video game out ever on a console.
And for the record, I think it's the only video game I own.
Oh man. Anyway, so okay guys, so I'm gonna do screen share, and I hate this because my husband, you won't believe what he did. He goes, okay, you're not using this laptop. He erased my laptop, you guys. He erased everything, and now it's like, oh my God, how do I get in here? So anyway, I'm trying to put my share screen, but in the meantime, I can't do it. I don't know why, but I'm just going to talk to you guys really quickly about online lead generation and conversions. First three things I always say, and you guys will agree to this, is structure, right? We always want to know what our structure is. We always want to make sure what are our three basic foundations. And for me, those foundations are basically talking to our leads in a way where we build a relationship and we stay focused on building the relationship, right? So most of the time, I always try to ask, what is that, and how do I build that foundation? Well, that is coming from contribution. You always want to come from contribution, right? Brett, help me out here because I'm still trying to find my my presentation here. But talking to people, coming from contribution, sharing market reports, really focusing on what's more important to them rather than me, because I'm not the center, right? It is them, they are the center, and we need to provide to them whatever we can. I want to share with you guys my successes through AI conversations and also through, what is it called? Email, right? Email blasts that we send out. Go ahead.
Okay.
I was saying, okay.
I have here. And Janki, don't worry if you don't find it, because
can I send it over to you, Tristan?
Yeah, send it over to me, and then I'll showcase it. I think that the key to this is, though, when we're looking at the online leads that are coming through, a lot of us are already doubtful as to whether or not they're good, right?
Right.
Because we're looking at it with the wrong set of eyes. A lot of us are assuming that they're going to transact right now, or that they're ready to purchase something sooner rather than later. And with that mindset, almost 99% of everything that comes through will be garbage for you.
Right.
And that's really where it starts for me with the whole team and me training. It's like, look, you've got to change the approach. Everyone that you talk to, you're building a long-term relationship with, because if they don't buy, somebody in their family or friends will buy in the next 10 years. I'm not in it for a year in this business. Brett's not in it for a few months. Neither are any of you. We're in this for very, very long term, and we need to treat our clients this way so our CRM resembles it, right?
Exactly. Right. Yep. And I think most of the time we forget the foundation of it all. We forget the foundation. We forget that this is basically something that we need to pay more attention to in terms of conversations, and not only focus on the conversion side of things. So I just sent it to you, not Tristan, but I sent it to you, Munch. So Munch, if you can just, I don't have his number here.
No problem.
Okay,
Munch,
so
dump it in the chat here and I'll open it up.
Perfect. So three structures, which is conversations, conversions, and closings, right? Those are the three things that I focus on. And then, of course, my database, which is my pipelines, my tags, my groupings. I have to organize all of that. And then sometimes we wonder, like, how do we organize that? And how do we create different smart plans? I know Brett Baker is amazing at different smart plans, but what I do is I create one-time smart plans as well, guys. And those are basic conversations and scripts that I take from my success stories that I've had, right? So I add those into a smart plan and I build it all out. And then I create different newsletters. I have my team, not me, create different newsletters, like not only what I've just sold, what's pending, what's coming soon, all of that good stuff, but I give them market update reports, you guys, and that has gone so awesome. Market update reports, newsletters, in the form of, we don't just steal, we give credit to the source. And the sources are KCM, Altos Research, market update reports from Chime, within Chime as well. So, and then of course, setting up the AI. I love AI, you guys. They do amazing because we do have a full-time person that's monitoring those as well, right? The conversations and all that good stuff. And then basically outbound calls, like obviously the ISA and the admins, and then of course, at the end, us. I always say, build your relationships with the leads, asking them the right questions, you guys. I think a lot of people make a big mistake going straight into asking them, hey, are you looking to buy or sell or invest in real estate? I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think it's always asking them questions coming from contribution. And when I say asking questions, once you look at the presentation, you'll see I talk about keywords, like just out of curiosity. And so just so I understand, repeat what they just said to you, right? Those are the keywords that I really, if they're very shut off, how do you get them to open up to you? Talk about something different. So I just want to know where you're located at. There you go. So we're on slide 4. Basically, there you go. So we're talking about tonality. We're talking about confidence in your in the way you're talking to your lead. And the first initial time you call them, they're not going to be very open with you. They might even just hang up, right? But how do you stay focused on asking them and continuing the conversation? That is so important. I always go by repeating sometimes, and then just, hey, just for your, and again, coming from a contribution, I'm just going to send you so. And so if they said, listen, I'm not interested in buying or selling right now, not a problem. Hey, I'm not calling for that. I just want to share some information, just want to share some market update reports with you. Are you okay with that? So when you are ready to buy or sell or invest, you have data in front of you. Who's going to say no to them? No to that, right? Because again, you want to share information. And then last, of course, confidence, talking to them about, you want to build that relationship. See, everyone goes, this is how this topic came up. A couple of months ago, Tristan and Brett and Trenton, a couple of months ago, we were having a conversation and there was an agent that called me and said, I'm not getting anyone to convert. I'm not getting my ISA to set up phone appointments for me. My buyer's agents are not able to set phone appointments, I'll convert any leads. My first question to them was, what is your conversation like? She's like, what do you mean conversation? I'm like, exactly, a conversation, not conversion. You always want to be mindful of the conversation, not the conversion, right, guys?
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I love how you just changed that wording, conversation, from conversion. We always talk about conversion. Maybe we change our virtual event from online lead conversion to online lead conversations.
Honestly, I mean, that is the goal, is to have the conversation to get the conversion.
Right. Right.
And every conversation is different. Yeah.
Such a good one.
I love that.
Taryn loves it too. What's up, Taryn? I didn't know you were here. Nice. I love that.
And I think it's about having a conversation, and connecting with the lead, not always setting that phone appointment and then failing at it. I'll show you some later on in the slide, in the presentation. You'll see the registration date and when we converted that lead, guys. It's like 6 months, 1 year. It's a slow process. So next slide, please. you'll see what I mean by that. So like I said, consistent lead generation, consistent lead follow-up, and consistent conversations. I didn't say consistent phone appointments or learn how to set that phone appointment. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, how do you achieve the highest success? And that is to be consistent. How much do we preach about being consistent, guys, right? We're always saying, if you're not consistent in your lead follow-up, you're not going to have a closing two in the next 30, 60, 90 days, right? So again, we tend to forget as realtors that we're in the relationship business. We're not in the conversion business or close business. Yeah, a lot of people talk about close, hard sell. No, you're going to lose. And if that becomes a hard sell and you're only going to sell to them once, wouldn't you want that lead to refer you business, ongoing business, right? Because last year, I remember from one Wailopo lead, I had 4 closings because they referred me 4 friends, right? So we want that, right? We want that. And all of them are very happy. We consistently talk to them. I'm always, sending them something or the other, brownies or apple pie or whatever,
Apple pie would be great.
I know, right? Yeah, nice weather for that too.
Yeah.
Anyway, next slide, please. Call to actions in your newsletters, market update reports, and do it persuasively is what I say. What are you asking them to do, right? And then take action, and then your contact information, right? Simple. Put a call to action. What do you want them to do, right? So for more, I want to know more. Don't say, call me here. Don't tell them what to do. You ask them that question saying, want to know more about this? Contact us, right?
Janki, I know the way you work, and it's a beautiful way, by the way. I would challenge you to change the word persuasive to inspire, because you inspire people to take action.
Oh, thank you. That's a good one. Inspire. Okay. I'll make note of that.
Tristan is opening his new editing company. He just hasn't talked about it yet.
Yes, Tristan. Tristan.
That's so my new nickname for you is Thesaurus.
The Baker Publishing Company.
There you go.
Thesaurus. Okay, so next one, guys. Okay, so this was a big hit. I don't know if you remember this, but a lot of people were interested, like, oh, how did you do this? And how I didn't, we just fancied it up. But look at my sources. I didn't put all this verbiage together, you guys. I actually just used Keeping Current Matters. The second one was, this one was, I think, from Keeping Current Matters also. And KCM, and then we have Coffee and Contracts. We have so many different sources. We just plug and put it out there. And this is all through Chime. A lot of questions come in Chime about how do you send these out, right? I don't know. I know that Adam Frank, myself, and Brett, we do respond to people who ask these questions. And one of the biggest questions, Tristan, was that, how do I do you send it to MailChimp, Google, right, Brett? And yep. I just use Chime. I love Chime for that. I really genuinely do, because it's so easy to just send things out, create, send, right? So
how do you do it, Brett? I have a question about that. Do you use just Chime, or do you outsource it to MailChimp or anything?
I actually don't send newsletters. I do not send newsletters.
He might after that slide.
I might, but I don't. I stick with strictly property information and stuff like that. Janki and I run very different business models. We come pretty much to the same results, 2 different ways. But I don't send newsletters, haven't sent newsletters. I use MailChimp for retargeting a lot of the time, and I'll build a retargeting audience out of that. But that's pretty much it.
I need to look at that.
What about you, Trenton?
Trenton, what have we played around with? I know right now we use MailChimp, but what have you done in the past with Chime?
Well, I've used some of their design center to obviously create some of them. Use some templates out in Canva as well to get those sent out. But typically using MailChimp has been kind of the predominant force. And behind that, there was one other one, but I can't think of what it was called. But that was a little bit while ago too, though.
And you know what's important to what you do, Janki? And I don't know if you did this on just by chance or just because you do it so often, it became a natural, that you're touching on you're touching on topics that are pertinent to the current time. So if we're concerned about rates, right? You're talking about rates. If we're concerned about Silicon Bank closing, you're talking about how that affects real estate, right? You're very pertinent with the information, so it creates a better open ratio.
It does. And another thing that we're talking about tomorrow, the Feds are thinking of raising interest rates, right? We don't know if it's quarter basis points or half a basis points. We don't know. Or, are they even thinking of dropping the interest rates because of 2 bank closures, right? So when we send out hot off the press kind of newsletters, you guys, it is just crazy. Like my open rates will be 78%, 70%, 68%. I mean, it's crazy. So I think people, and I'll show you another slide, people always want to know what's going on in the market. Well, why do they even sign up on your website, right? Why do they even come in as a lead? They're a little bit of inkling of, I want to know about the market. I'm not maybe ready to buy or sell or anything right now, but I just want to know. That's where you give them what they want. And guess what? When they are ready, they'll go to you. And and I'll show you proof of that because there's so many people that have done just that in the past 2 months that we've closed so many. So next slide.
Go back to it.
Yes, please.
All right. And yes, this is recorded. It's going into our Chime YouTube channel. I just put up the link right now. And let me share the screen now. Next slide. Here we go.
So remember how I said call to action, right? Again, these are the newsletters. But, Brett, you also sometimes you can put these in smart plans. And I know that your smart plans are really, really good. But I don't use anything but Chime. And when I give them market update reports, like you said, property information or something like this, I gave them Altos research because people were really in demand for, San Jose and Fremont. And these are the open rates we got, 77%, you guys, because people want to know what's going on in the market in Fremont. Like,
it's interesting, Janki, your area, specifically Silicon Valley, you're going to have a lot more people that are analytical. So this makes total sense that the open rate for this is high versus an area that's more vacation type. Rentals, they're going to love a lot more of the lifestyle emails. Exactly. So it's important to understand who your audience is as well.
Absolutely. And, let me tell you, 18 years ago, or even right around 50, when I moved to California, you guys, I was very annoyed at these buyers and sellers because they're so analytical. Well, one of them is my husband. He's a software engineer. He is so analytical and it drives me up the wall. And I know Tristan is like that. And so many of my close friends are like that are in this industry that are like that. And it drives me nuts because I'm not analytical. Just get to the bottom line, tell me what it is, and I'm good to go, right? But he's like, no. I want to know who sold this, why, and what did they buy it for, and what year they bought it from? Like, who cares? People do, your audience does. And for me, it was hard for me to, and when I started sharing this Altos research, when I started sharing market update reports, do you see those 70 and 78% open rates, guys? It's because I'm talking to my audience. And Tristan is right. Talk to your audience because it's so important to engage them in the conversation, not conversion yet. Conversation, guys.
2 questions for you, Janki. One,
yes,
Joe. Joe, thanks for being on, man. I appreciate that. Do you have something that shows how you set up that newsletter? I love the background. Was this created in Chime or something like Canva?
Canva.
So Canva and then imported into Chime and then sent out.
Yes.
Perfect. I love that. Next question from Gloria. By the way, Gloria said this is so valuable. Thank you. So thank you, Gloria. We appreciate you being on. She's got a question. Do you recommend sending different email campaigns or newsletters addressed to different online lead groups? Online is harder to get them to engage. And I get many that unsubscribe from my newsletter because they don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm. So the audience needs to know you. Remember, we always say conversations, talk to them, engage with them. So the way I engage, I have my leads in different groups. from pipelines, we put them in different groups, we tag them, and not me, by the way, it's my team that does this, the virtual team. But again, they tag them and they put them in different groups based on the conversation. See, this is what I mean, guys. If you don't use Chime to the fullest, leave notes, add tasks, add appointments, you will be lost. So my team knows exactly what to do when shift starts at 9 o'clock. When they log in, they know exactly where to go because they have notes. They're tagged in those notes. They don't have to ask the past IS, say, hey, what did you work on, or who do I need to talk to today? They know exactly who to talk to when coming in on shift, right? So it's a process that they know, they have it down really well. And that's what I mean by when you're doing newsletters, you need to focus on different groups. You need to put your leads in different groups. And when you put the leads in different groups based on conversations and notes that are there, then you know exactly how to target them and what to send.
We've got 3 minutes left. I want to showcase a couple of things from your slide. But first, Trenton, I'm going to you on this one. Canva newsletter. Is this a JPEG that we throw into Chime, or what do we do?
I was just messaging, or I was about to message Terry back.
I knew you were. I knew it.
I was typing it. I was trying to figure out how to word that. But yeah, if you export it as a PNG, you can import it in as a display image. You can also use a PDF if you're looking to attach it and use. I guess it depends on how you're going to communicate that message. So if you want them to see it right off the bat, or or if you want them to download the PDF, they can do that as well.
Yeah,
dude, never stop saying right off the bat. Sorry, Janki. Right off the bat's the best phrase he's got.
No, we do PDFs. That's easiest for our team, and it works like a charm for us. So,
okay, and then question for any of you here. In order to send targeted newsletters based on market updates per city, do you add a tag for city name for filtering, or how does that work?
Lorraine, if you can answer that, you're on the chats. I do not know because I do not do that. So,
or Trenton or Brett, if Lorraine doesn't answer in the chat. And Matthew has got a question about groups. That might go to Brett.
What's up?
Can you give some examples of different groups and how you use the different groups?
So the way I always look, we have like a minute here, so I'm going to do this quickly. Pipelines, water pipes. Basically, leads always flow through your pipelines. Groups, they can be in multiple pipelines, or multiple groups. And basically, you just use that to identify a type of audience. And so you can put first-time home buyer in there. You put golf course community in there. You can use groups to identify a way to organize really any group of people. And then tags you can get really, really refined with.
So when it comes to past clients, would you put them as a tag, you personally, or would you put them in a group?
I'll tag them, but I'll tag them what they were a past client for. That's number one. And then number two, I will put them in their own pipeline called past clients. And that way I can run a smart plan and an entire past client follow-up, which is what we focus primarily on.
I like it. Okay, last slide, because it was impressive, Janki. I want to know, what the hell is this?
Email accountability. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. I wish I had more time, but all the people, like the rest of the rest of the slide will, rest of the deck will show you when they registered and when we converted them. This one from January to March, you can see so many people were interested in the market update report. 90% opened our market update. There you go. Look at the property reports versus market. People know your audience, and we have nailed down who our audiences are, and this is what they look for. But look at newsletters and smart plans, only 41%, but market update was 90%. You guys.
I mean, look, I'm going to be here. Look, in reality, these are amazing numbers, but the fact that you have a 90 and a 56 just outshines the amazingness of that as well.
And again, talk to your audience. It's not about conversions all the time. This is what I want to say. It's about conversations building up to conversions.
All right, Janki, how do people get a hold of you to ask more questions, or or to hire a VA, a virtual assistant, to do this for them, or whatever? How do people get a hold of you?
Lorraine is typing it all up. And, we also, we'll talk about it at our virtual event, what we have, but there you go.
Perfect. I love that. Brett, how do people get a hold of you if they have questions?
Easiest way is you can text me 562-553-8300.
Or just Google Brett Baker.
No, it's Brett at brettbakercoaching.com.
There you go. So
Perfect.
simple to remember.
And Trenton, how do people get hold of you?
They can find me on LinkedIn.
You're sending everybody to LinkedIn now. I love it.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
I love that. Smart move.
Brett Baker, it's so easy to remember. BRETT Baker. I mean, come on, who doesn't love cookies and croissants? Baker. And
I do love cookies and croissants.
I mean, don't we all? Come on.
The downside though is with the last name, people expect you to be able to bake, and for the record, I can.
Dude, Brett, you know what? Brett, you're gonna have to change that barista background coffee place to a bakery.
Bakery?
Okay? Bakery. Yes. And have it say the bakery. By Brett Baker.
I'll be on mid-journey here in about an hour.
All right, everybody. You know what? Every time we do this, I feel happier at the end, guys. So thank you.
Me too.
I appreciate you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Bye,
See you guys.